For more than a year, playgrounds around the world have been without children because of the COVID-19 pandemic. But even if the situation improves, some of these playgrounds may remain empty as a demographic crisis unfolds. "30-year-old Summer Lin met her fiancé, Terrence Fan, through an online platform. After dating for 2 years, they believe they are destined for each other. Terrence is his parents' only child, while Summer has 2 siblings, but they both look forward to starting their own family."
我会想要生小孩，可是因为现在的大环境啊，然后资源都变化都非常的大，那我不晓得说以我现在这样子的收入啊，我的存款等等的，能不能供我的小孩有一个理想的生活的品质，这是我比较担心的部分。
Even with that concern, they bought a new house earlier this year as they prepare for their wedding. But COVID-19 disrupted their plan. In May, Taiwan was hit by its worst COVID-19 outbreak. Weeks of lockdown measures have failed to effectively tame the virus. A global vaccine shortage means COVID-19 restrictions are likely to stay for some months to come. Terrence, who works as a chiropractor, has been staying at home since the outbreak. It's uncertain when he can resume work. The couple already postponed their wedding and is now rethinking their plan to have children.
我的工作是传统推拿整复，是需要近距离与客人接触的。那这样对我和客人来说都会很有危险，所以在疫情期间我是没有办法去工作的。我对生小孩的考量主要是说经济状况是否能够负荷，以及教育资源是不是在我的理想范围内。现在大家的心情都非常的不安定。如果现在怀孕的话，要考虑到医疗资源能不能够去应付怀孕期间的突发状况，这是我比较担心的。
It's a similar story around the world. Couples are putting off plans to get married or have children because of the pandemic. But such delays and uncertainties will hit Taiwan especially hard. The island recorded negative population growth in 2020. For the first time, there were more deaths than new births. Like its East Asian neighbors, Japan and South Korea, Taiwan's birth rate has been falling at an alarming rate for many years now. One estimate by the U.S. Central Intelligence Agency predicted the island's total fertility rate will be the lowest in the world in 2021, at 1.07 children per woman.
未来这10年，我们工作人口会减少，应该是有200万老人的增加，然后减少180万的工作人口，所以我们的这个经济的动能会受到很大的影响。
As the birth rate drops, in Taipei, there are fewer students to fill up the classrooms here. Class size has been reduced steadily since 2013. Public and private schools are fighting for students to survive. Based on the official data, over 10% of private high school and vocational schools are facing the danger of closure due to Taiwan's low birth rate. Some experts even predict that more than half could be forced to shut down in the next 5 years. I want to find out more about the impact of the falling fertility rate on Taiwan's education industry. Howard Xia is the third-generation owner of this private vocational school. His grandfather started Kaiping as a private high school in 1953. In 2007, his father transformed it into a culinary school, teaching young people the tips and tricks of the trade.
然后他又看到技职会上技职的学校的学生，其实在当时的时空背景都是我们叫做2流学生，因为1流都会去念升学的学校。那怎么去帮助这些学生可以翻转他们的人生？所以你进入这个职场，你可以触及到不同样貌的人、不同社会阶层的人，而且可以从他们身上，在客人的互动当中，跟了解他们的喜好当中，你可以有很多的学习，所以是一个很容易翻转人生的行业。
Over the years, the school has developed a reputation as the island's top culinary school. Its alumni can be found in the kitchens of many top hotels and restaurants, both in Taiwan and abroad. But even a popular school like Kaiping is not spared from the impact of Taiwan's falling birth rate. Earlier this year, the school announced that it will cut enrollment by half following a steady decline in admission applications.
我们自动想要从1年500个学生降低1半啊，所以我们今年申请240个学生。其实我们就是想要好好的把240个学生照顾得更好，然后可以让他们学到的东西更扎实。但是最重要的是，其实我们希望是少子化，我们在少子化的当下，我们怎么还是找到对餐饮真的有热忱、有梦想的学生？
Kaiping is one of some 500 high schools in Taiwan that are bearing the brunt of the island's falling birth rate. Even though the government has in recent years introduced measures aimed at encouraging couples to have children, there are views that the decline in Taiwan's fertility rate may be irreversible.
光是经济的诱因，它只不过是个鼓励生育的必要条件，不是充分条件。也就是说，你没有这些诱因，生育率还会往下掉。啊，你有了，不见得会往上升的意思。
For Kaiping Culinary, it knows it has to look beyond Taiwan to survive.
我们少子化冲击是大环境的变化，无可避免。但是我们怎么在现有的基础上，再往上提升？那我可以提供的是更国际化、更有国际舞台、更有全球资讯的餐饮。我怎么引进更多的这个外国学生可以来台湾学中餐？
The phenomenon of children disappearing in society due to falling birth rates is not unique to Taiwan. Last year, the Italian population shrank by almost 400,000, about the size of the city of Florence, as deaths surge while new births plunge amid the pandemic. Later, we will take you to the country which has the world's second oldest population.
Nestled in a nature reserve and just 70 kilometers northeast of the Italian capital, Rome, is the medieval town of Rivodutri. It's a treasure in the central Apennine Mountains. The town has undergone a demographic change. Its population fell by 8% over the past 20 years to just over 1,100 residents, in part due to emigration and also a low birth rate.
Le persone hanno cercato lavoro in altre città e sono andate via. E quindi ecco, la popolazione di Rivodutri ha risentito di questa migrazione e negli anni, anche se poi un po' ha rallentato, ma continua ancora a diminuire, anche perché diminuiscono poi le nascite anche in virtù della crisi venuta nel 2010 e nel terremoto che si è verificato nel 2016.
A large part of the population is over the age of 60. They've seen firsthand how their town has evolved.
Oggi purtroppo demograficamente è spento. Questo è che mi fa molto male, perché vorrei vederlo sempre pieno di gente, insomma, ecco. Sono troppo legato, anche perché ho avuto papà fino a 103 anni che è vissuto benissimo, insomma, una persona che è piena di vita.
Dropping by the local nursery school, it was clear to see. Students here come from Rivadutri and 10 villages nearby. Yet class sizes have dropped and the COVID-19 pandemic hasn't helped either.
Sono arrivata circa 10 anni fa, erano 2 sezioni complete di 20 bambini l'una e invece adesso siamo rimasti con una sezione di 23 bambini che poi quest'anno con il Covid qualcuno non ha frequentato per paura e quindi frequentanti quest'anno 16. Però certo gli anni successivi sarà un problema perché in quest'anno non ci sono state nascite, solo 1 o 2 bambini in tutto il territorio, comprese tutte le frazioni, quindi è un po' triste la situazione.
For primary school teachers, it means adjusting to these dwindling enrollments. The next school year will probably only see 3 new first-grade students.
Adottiamo il sistema della pluriclasse e questo significa che i bambini di prima, per esempio, svolgeranno le lezioni insieme ai bambini di seconda, di terza. In questo però ci vengono sempre in conto i dirigenti scolastici, nel senso che noi, pur avendo le pluriclassi, riusciamo comunque a sdoppiare e quindi a lavorare con i singoli gruppi le discipline fondamentali, quali italiano e matematica.
The story of Rivadutri has been repeated in towns throughout Italy over decades. But with the coronavirus pandemic hitting Italy the hardest in the European Union, the problem has only been accentuated. Deaths have outnumbered births. The population fell by 384,000 people. Now that's the equivalent of losing a city the size of Florence in a year. It's a direction that's not easy to change either. For Ariella Grossi, setting up this riding school was a dream come true for both her and her partner. Horseback tours of the surrounding nature reserve are also part of their business, called Sophia's Ranch, named after their only daughter. It's hard work for the both of them, 7 days a week, keeping the project alive, so they've decided to shelve the idea of having a second child. The economic uncertainty in Italy doesn't help.
Purtroppo i lavori non ci sono, la maggior parte dei ragazzi stanno a spasso. Come fai a creare una famiglia se non c'è una stabilità? Con che basi la crei? Tutto qua. Penso che una delle più grandi motivazioni sia questa.
Ok, e la situazione di Covid aumenta questa incertezza per voi?
Secondo noi? Beh, sì.
Anche.
Tanta gente ha perso comunque il lavoro, no? A tante attività purtroppo ne hanno risentito e sono chiuse. Hanno dovuto chiudere anzi. E quindi tante famiglie stanno in difficoltà, tanti che magari volevano affrontare, no, un nuovo inizio, hanno dovuto magari rinunciare, no? Fermarsi e aspettare.
With the second oldest population in the world and a long stagnating economy, the problem of a low birth rate is a serious one for Italy. But it's something that the government of Prime Minister Mario Draghi is beginning to deal with the new Family Act. Now that's a plan that's financed by EU COVID recovery funds, and it includes measures such as bonuses for families, investments in daycare centres and schools, as well as helping young couples secure mortgages. Italy managed to secure over 200 billion euros in COVID recovery funds from the European Union, and dealing with the low birth rate is a priority for this government. While this new policy move has been welcomed by demographic experts, it's still too early to tell whether it will be enough.
We should complement this important government measure with other. We should really aim at establishing an environment that it is family friendly on different sides. It's not only a magic of one policy measures that will change the situation. That is the outcome of decades of low fertility.
Meanwhile, back in Rivadutri, the mayor is optimistic. While COVID-19 caused unspeakable pain in Italy, the pandemic also opened up new possibilities. As part of the post-COVID recovery plan, Italy will work on improving the digitalization of the country And there's already a €1 million project in place here to boost the town's internet connectivity.
Abbiamo visto tutti adesso con la pandemia che c'è questa possibilità di lavorare a casa, il famoso smart working tanto citato in questi mesi ci ha fatto capire che forse potrebbe essere la strada buona, che magari cittadini che adesso sono a Roma al lavoro ma magari possono fare il loro lavoro direttamente da casa, magari tornano in questo paese perché c'è l'aria buona, perché si sta bene, perché c'è la tranquillità e quindi possano tornare ad abitare a Ripotutri.
A chance to swing the trend in population decline the other way.
Singapore needs more babies. The total fertility rate fell to a new low of 1.1 babies per woman last year, despite years of cash and other birth incentives given out by the state. And the trend may not see a reversal anytime soon, as the COVID-19 pandemic throws up new obstacles to those looking to have children.
See there? See where the tree is, right? That's where our unit will be.
Yeah, but it's not even built yet.
Will Jean Tan and Rachel Chow got married late last year amid COVID-19 restrictions. They're looking forward to move into their new matrimonial home, a condominium under Singapore's public housing scheme. But the pandemic has slowed down construction by almost a year, which means they won't be able to get their keys till at least 2023. They are currently staying at Rachel's parents' home. While the 5-room flat is spacious, they can only enjoy privacy as a couple here. The room where Rachel grew up in is now a space for two.
This cabinet is meant for Eugene, so this is my work desk, and the TV here is for us for entertainment and to release some stress, to de-stress. Yeah, then this cabinet just shared by both of us.
The limited space has put a damper on their plans to start a family.
Having our own home is where we have got our own space. I think space is important because the kid needs to have their own area to be able to grow up, and I think right now where with this more people living at home and given the confines of space, it'll be relatively challenging for us to be able to raise a kid.
The issue of children is at the back of their minds.
We do feel a little bit concerned due to peer pressure. Family members always asking, "Oh, so where's the next good news?"
They are also worried that the stress of uncertainty could affect pregnancy, coupled with the risk of exposing a newborn to the coronavirus.
Rachel and I are still very keen to have kids, and multiple kids at that. But however, I think that I've got some colleagues who had kids during the pandemic period, and they were saying that it's definitely an inconvenience, and the fact that we're stuck in this temporal state has been definitely frustrating.
The Tans aren't alone. The National Development Ministry said in April this year that over 40,000 households have been affected by construction delays for built-to-order flats.
Being a city-state, our homes are small, right? So when young married couples are staying with one side's parents, necessarily issues of privacy, whether or not there's too many people crammed up, in a relatively small flat. Those are concerns that newlyweds, generally face. And so getting that home and being able to start their own family and enjoy, living their life as a couple and a new unit is always a big deal.
And even for those who already have the space and the means, parenthood may not always come easily.
I'm a woman, but yet I can't conceive naturally. And it felt that, am I like a broken piece?
For Yao Su-an, 2-year-old Kiara is her most precious gift. Su-an, who is 33 this year, discovered she had infertility issues at a young age.
Before I got married, At 26, we did a full body checkup, and I realized that I have a 7 cm cyst, ovarian cyst. And during the surgery, the doctor found out that my tubes were severely blocked, and therefore I can't conceive naturally.
She struggled for years with multiple surgeries, countless injections, and several rounds of failed in vitro fertilization, or IVF. The treatment involves taking out a woman's eggs, fertilizing them to form embryos, and transferring the embryo back into the woman's womb.
I had no more confidence in myself already. I was very, very upset, and I didn't even want to face anyone. Yeah, it was a very dark period for me during that time.
But Sue-Ann pressed on with her treatments, and Kiara was finally born in December 2018, a joyous end to the years of heartache and pain. Now, she is going through it once again, in a bid to have her second child. She knows what to expect this time around, but the pandemic has brought on new challenges.
My husband can't be with me during retrieval and transfers. Yeah, so there's no support. You just got to face it on your own. And also, appointments are a little bit tougher to make because of all the safe distancing. But other than that, it really didn't stop us from trying again. Although so in December we actually transferred again, and that ended in a miscarriage also.
For now, Sue-Ann is taking things one day at a time.
We always wanted a bigger family, so with this new normal, I'm also not sure how to proceed, to be honest.
The whole lockdown periods and then the cautionaries that we have about, visiting hospitals and so forth certainly didn't make it easy for those who are on IVF treatment. And for those who are planning IVF treatment, my guess is they would have had to put a hold on it. Everything counts when our birth rate is so low.
The path to parenthood is a difficult journey for some, especially in the new normal with COVID-19. One only hopes that despite the hurdles, those who desire to have children will get their wish.